Well, welcome to the show. My name is Brent Buchanan from Pure Country, and welcome to There's Always a Song. And we're going to have a song a little later on, an original song by our guest. And our guest for this show, episode number, I don't even know what episode number this is, but we're having fun. We're having fun. They say 8 in my ear, so it's episode 8. Ella Campbell is here. Hello, Ella.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, we've never met.
Ella.
Nice to meet you, Ella.
Nice to meet you.
Ella Campbell, and now I guess how I came about to see you is on Facebook. You're popping up everywhere on Facebook and on posters, local posters of where you're playing. Where are you from? You're not from Fredericton.
No, I've lived here for 8 years.
Yeah.
But I'm originally from New Minas, Nova Scotia.
Okay.
And
now Anthony Gray was on the show a month or so ago, and he's from Nova Scotia as well.
it's pretty much the same town.
Do you know each other?
No.
Really?
No, not at all. Where I'm from, do you know where Acadia is?
Yes.
The university?
Yeah.
So that's Wolfville.
Okay.
And then it goes New Minas, and then it goes Kentville.
Okay.
So it's kind of like 3 towns.
What's the population?
Oh gosh, like 0. There's no people there. There really isn't. Amazing people, but
Yeah.
barely any.
Really?
Yeah, I would say all 3 of those towns combined would make up Fredericton.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you make your way to Fredericton?
My dad's an RCMP officer.
Okay.
He got transferred and he works at the headquarters here in Fredericton.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so you tagged along with them.
I had to, yeah.
Are you a university student?
I went to school. So after high school, I took a gap year and I worked at the Shannex.
Okay.
Yep, and didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think music was even an option for me.
Right.
So went to school, going into business, and didn't like it. So I dropped out after half a semester and then started working at Boston Pizza and then started putting my kind of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I had this girl reach out to me, and she was from somewhere in Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah, it was super strange. But I mean, it turned out for the best, I guess.
Yeah.
And she went to the school for managing like artists down there. And she reached out to me, asked if she could kind of set me up, and then
You must have thought this was a prank or a joke or a con or something.
Yeah, that's why I had Dad into it.
Yeah.
So being in the RCMP, he was able to look it over and say, "Oh, this seems okay."
This is legit.
Yeah. So I didn't sign anything, but she actually got me my first gig here at Grimross.
Oh.
And then ever since then, I've just been wanting to play music.
So while growing up in Nova Scotia, were you into music? Were you playing guitar? Were you singing? Were you karaokeing? Or what was it?
Yes. So I grew up next to Newfoundlanders.
Yeah.
And
hey, there you go.
Everybody knows that they're big into music, partying, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So the majority of the week I was spent over there, and I started singing and stuff when I was 5. But they had a built-in stage. So
At their house?
Yeah. So at their house, they had a basement, and there was a bar, and they had their stage set up with drums, guitars. They had
At their house?
At their house.
Wow.
Yep, in their basement. And they would call me up, and the only way I would ever play is if I had headphones in and I had my dad's iPod. And they would call me up on stage, and I'd sing away with that.
And how old were you then?
5.
Really?
Probably even before that. I mean,
Yeah.
music's been a huge part of my life. So.
Now I notice on your Facebook and your videos and such, you play guitar and you also play keyboard. Do you play keyboard?
I don't.
Well, you were standing in front of a keyboard.
Okay, that's another story.
Okay.
So, do you know who the band Shaded is?
Yes, yeah.
So, Crystal she's a family friend of mine.
Yeah.
So,
they're from Nova Scotia, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
Halifax
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
So, whenever I see them playing, they always tend to call me up on stage. So I was playing in front of her keyboard.
Okay.
And my boyfriend's down there taking pictures and spamming pictures and everything else.
I said,
Yeah.
I said, ooh, she's a multi-instrumentalist.
My gosh, I wish. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
So did you take guitar lessons or just learn by ear?
Mostly by ear. I started taking guitar lessons from a family friend of mine.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't really into it. I mean, I was 5, so getting used to guitar and it hurting your fingers at 5 years old, you just want to be done.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I did end up taking lessons again for probably a year, and then moved to Fredericton, and then just been on my own since.
Cool.
Yeah.
My daughter took guitar lessons, and we bought her this cheap guitar. Like, it was pink, and it was it was a cheap guitar. Because we didn't want to spend a lot of money on guitar if she wasn't going to be interested in it.
Yep, fair.
So she was taking lessons from Tony Scott.
Okay.
And we said, okay. after a few lessons, we said, okay, you learn Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, we'll buy you a better guitar. And she wanted the Taylor Swift Taylor guitar, the Mini.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
So we said, okay. Next week, she learned Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So guess who had to go to Tony's Music Box and pick up a Taylor Swift guitar? Me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And now my little guy's taking bass lessons, so he's...
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you need a bass player?
I might. I might. You never know.
Do you have a band, or are you just doing solo gigs right now?
Solo gigs for the most part. In the future, I'm gonna be playing, I think, with Lockie Munn.
Okay, yeah. Lockie, yeah.
He reached out to me and he's wanting to do a little duo.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played with Lee Howe.
Lee Howe. He's an amazing player.
Phenomenal guitar player.
And he's a great singer too.
He's just good at everything he does.
Yeah.
I swear. He's
he
good
used
at
to be in a
everything.
bluegrass band back in the day.
I did know that.
Yeah.
I did know that, but...
Yeah. So yeah, you're hooked up with some good folks.
Yes.
So what genre of music are you mainly focused towards?
That's kind of a harder question.
I noticed you
a
got
little
cowboy
bit.
boots on.
I do. So country's my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
But I've learned to kind of play some different things. So every Monday I'm playing at O'Hickey's.
Yeah.
And being at an Irish pub, you should probably be playing some Irish music.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, back to the newfies.
Yeah.
I went back to that and learned some new songs. So I'm playing some of that. I play a lot of like rock, like CCR, Billy Joel kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then country too.
Yeah. So what's on your playlist if I was to look at your Spotify or your who do you have in your playlist?
A lot of Jason Aldean.
Do you really?
A lot of Jason Aldean.
Yeah. Do you like him?
I love him.
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen and kind of everything. I have a pretty big mix there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the last person you seen in concert?
Joan Kennedy.
Joan Kennedy at the New Brunswick Country Showcase.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was her.
And isn't Joan a sweetheart?
She is the nicest lady I think I've ever met. She's always been super, super supportive of me. I haven't run into anybody that hasn't been so far, but she just kind of took me under her wing.
She knows what she's doing.
Absolutely.
She's been doing this for a while.
Yep.
And she's a Hall of Famer, and she just was inducted into the Maine Country Music Hall of Fame.
Was she really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Just recently, yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
And we're going to get to a song that you wrote.
Yes.
That's coming up a little later on. Who's influenced you in your music? Now, you said the next door neighbor Newfies probably have a little bit, but like anybody in the country world or the rock world that you've always looked up to and listened to?
I would say older Taylor Swift.
Okay. Like the
So-
Tim McGraw Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff. I don't really listen to her new stuff. Old stuff. I used to listen to that constantly.
Yeah.
It's really hard kind of to answer that question because I don't really have like a favorite artist or genre. I love country. But kind of anything that I listen to, I'm just like, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to be on there. I want to do what they're doing kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
kind of just country music in itself has just been it's impacted me for sure.
Any big shows that you're going to this summer? Summertime's here, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Festivals.
Yep, I'm probably gonna end up going to YQM.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I haven't actually been.
Okay, I haven't been to YQM. I've been to Cavendish.
I've been to Cavendish too.
Yeah.
Love it, and yeah, I mean, I went last year and got to see a bunch of great performers there. But I've never been to YQM, and it's so close. I feel like I should probably go.
You mentioned Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen played there was it last year that he
Yep.
played? Yeah.
Yep, and I couldn't go.
Yeah. Oh.
I know.
Oh.
It's okay. I got to see so many videos.
Now, I was scrolling through your Facebook.
Yep.
And you get around. You've been performing in Charlottetown.
Yep.
You've been performing in Halifax.
Yes.
You've been performing in Fredericton, of course.
Yep.
And everywhere is in between. Who's getting you all these gigs? Or is it just you picking up the phone and calling and saying, hey, listen, I'm going to be in Charlottetown and I'm looking for a gig? Or what?
So the Halifax one, bringing up Shaded and Crystal again, she reposted. I made a video of me playing at a little bar in Perth Andover.
Yeah.
And I posted it because I'm their videos. I gotta get it out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And she reposted it, and the guy that was the owner of the bar, Treble Pub, he reached out to her saying that he wanted me to go down.
Wow.
So I went down, and they were actually playing, and I didn't know they were playing, and they got me up on stage again, and she sent him videos.
Nice.
And the next time I was down there, he said, well, we need to get you a show, so let's do it.
Yeah.
And we did. It was awesome. Crowd was awesome. Everything about it was awesome. And then my family's actually from PEI, both sides,
Yeah.
my mom and dad, so my grandparents, aunts, everything's down there. And they've been really wanting me to get a gig down there. So I reached out to Donnie Bowers. He has a band in there, and he's also related to me. And he got me the gig at the Old Dublin.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty popular bar down there too. in
Very.
Charlottetown. Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Do you get nervous when you're?
Not really.
No?
Not anymore. I'm more nervous for stuff like this
Yeah.
rather than me doing what I love, because it's what I like to do.
Something like this, it's just me and you.
I know, but I get so nervous.
Like if you're in a pub, there's everyone there. They're all drunk, and it's
But I mean, they're there to listen to music anyway.
That's true.
And music, everybody loves music.
Yeah.
You could be like the worst singer in the world, and people would love it because it's live music. Everybody loves it.
If I was on stage singing, they'd throw things at me to get off the stage.
I doubt that. If you come down to O'Hickey's, I'll have you up.
Really?
Oh yeah.
The only song I do is Elvira.
Oh, I can play guitar to that.
Giddy up, boom bapa, mama.
We better get a moving then.
Now, when I scrolled through Facebook and reached out to you, and part of the show is the name of the show is There's Always a Song, and the song is supposed to be an original song. And I reached out and I said, Ella, do you got any original material? I'd love to have you on my show. And you said, no, but I will.
Yep.
So you started writing.
Yes, probably a month ago.
And this is your first song that you're going to do tonight.
Yes.
On the show.
Yes.
No, and you said this before we went on the air. No one has heard this song before. Nobody.
No one. Nobody's heard it. I played the first verse and chorus actually at the Old Dublin, but nobody knew.
Uh-huh.
So they were all talking and
Yeah.
stuff, and it was just for sound check.
Yeah.
And then I did send my mom a little clip today, but I didn't send the whole thing. So yeah, this is the first time I've ever played it in front of anybody.
So
yeah.
we're gonna get to that, but let's talk a little bit about your songwriting career. You've got one song
One
now.
song. Yeah.
And did the songwriting come easy for you, or was it a struggle?
It was the songwriting itself was easier than I expected, but because I was so intimidated, because it is very vulnerable getting all your thoughts and feelings on a piece of paper and letting kind of the whole world listen to it. That is what was intimidating. So I was talking to a bunch of people in like October, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so hard putting it aside, blah, blah, blah. And then I've been really, really, really wanting to do it.
Yeah.
But when you reached out to me, I'm like, okay, I've said yes,
Yeah.
I have to get it done.
You gotta do her.
So I did it, and I was talking to a few people here and there about it and helping me out. They gave me pointers. But really, like, getting the lyrics itself wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's my first song, so it could
Well,
be...
obviously you've been in music since
Yes.
you were 5, so you know the gist of a song.
Yeah.
So it probably came easy that way, but I suppose writing the song, putting lyrics to paper would be kind of tough.
It is.
And I always respect people when I find out that they're a songwriter. I always say, like, that's got to be hard.
It's a little tricky. So coming up with the melody itself wasn't too bad, but the actual lyrics and making your thoughts into lyrics that people will want to listen to and that sounds kind of good or better than what you had in your mind that's the difficult part.
Yeah.
So just, putting your brain on a piece of paper probably won't sound the best. So you need to kind of...
Now, will you be nervous when you play this song in front of people, like at the bar? In case, are they going to clap? Are they going to like it? Are they going to love it? Are they going to...
Probably not. Like I said, I'm more nervous to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the bar, O'Hickey specifically, that's like a home.
Yeah.
I'm so comfortable there. The staff is amazing. Customers, I know every one of them.
Yeah.
So it's just like playing in front of your family. And that, honestly, they could be like, oh, that was awful. And I'd be like, oh, well, I'll do it again. Try again.
Yeah, exactly.
And whatever. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But this.
Just me and you.
No, it's just us.
So the question I was going to ask you next was, do you have any other songs in the back? Are you working on any other new songs or any new material? Now that you got the itch, now that you scratched the itch, now that you did one.
Yeah, so I do have kind of some ideas of what I want to write about, maybe a few phrases here and there, melodies a little bit, but I don't have anything like right on paper yet, but I do know that there's something. Yeah, there's definitely more coming.
So your goal down the road, like you're still young, your goal down the road is to do an album? Is that what?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's like, I have so many goals when it comes to music.
Yeah.
But album, definitely up there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And what genre are you gearing it towards?
Yeah, country music for
Are
sure.
you really?
Yep,
Good
absolutely.
For you. And this show is dealing with country music and folk music, and we had Kylie on, and she classifies herself as folk. And I'm going to try to get Mike Bidlake on, who's more of a bluesy guy, and so it's all genres of music that we're going to be focusing on here on the show. So, but I am a true believer, or not a true believer, a true lover of country music.
Love it.
I love the classic country.
I love all country. I grew up listening to Merle Haggard.
No way!
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Merle Haggard.
Me too. Me too.
I met him once.
What?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yes.
Dad, I'm so sorry. Like,
Well,
he's cooler than you.
Is your dad a Merle Haggard fan?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Really?
Merle Haggard, George Jones, everybody.
I met George Jones a number of times. But anyway,
Oh my gosh.
that's the thing. Like I'm a big legend fan. Like I like the legends. I like the guys that created the sound of country music. But
I agree.
Yeah.
No, they're awesome.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? You still performing music? Are you going to go back to school, or would you rather do music and
music always?
Always.
Music. I will be having a career in music. I know that. If that's even a music teacher, I don't really care. My goals obviously are huge. I want to get down to Nashville in the next year.
Yeah.
2 years, I'm hoping if I get enough, original music out there, I want to be in Cavendish, playing at Cavendish somewhere.
Well, they got 3 stages there.
Yep, I did see that, and I just want to make it, I guess.
Now you mentioned Eddie Young.
Yep.
Eddie does a lot for the local community, local music community, and he's sort of helped you out a little bit too.
He has done so much, and if you ask anybody that knows Eddie, he will do absolutely anything he can to get you on a stage anywhere. Yeah. He's been awesome, phenomenal, big, huge supporter of me. He's actually gotten me to play kind of around New Brunswick a little bit. But he's does so much for all of the local artists.
Right. So when you're writing songs, Ella, what normally comes first? Is it the lyrics that come first and then you put the music behind it, or is it the music and then you add the lyrics?
I'll usually start with a strumming pattern or picking pattern on my guitar, and then kind of go for lyrics. But when you're doing the lyrics, it's just a bunch of gibberish first. So you could just be strumming and going blah, 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 my back porch, whatever. And then it'll just kind of flow from there. You write it down and then you change up some things. But definitely melody first for me. But I've heard that it's different for everybody.
Have you taken any suggestions from anybody on how to write a song? Or?
Yes.
Yes. Instantly, yes.
Yep. So I've been talking to a guy named Jason Robichaud.
Okay.
And he writes so many originals, and I've even been talking to Rachel Graham, and just about advice and lyrics. And they're both great lyricists.
Now you've mentioned Lockie. Lockie writes some songs too, I think. Doesn't he?
I did know that.
Yeah.
I haven't asked him about like originals yet. It's more just like I think we're playing together.
You're gonna do you're gonna record together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be playing at a St. Louis, I think. At a couple
if you were to record a duet with anybody out there, who would it be?
Like anybody?
Well, let's just say the group of people in the province. Like your dream duet partner from the province of New Brunswick.
He's gonna not love me for saying this, but I would definitely say J.R. Vautour.
Oh, really?
Definitely.
Jerry?
Definitely.
Jerry's great.
He is a great guy.
He's a great guy.
I mean, one of my family friends,
And a great performer.
Great guy. He's been guiding me kind of through this a little bit. And I was talking to him about like the songwriting and stuff, and he was helping me out with that too. But I don't think he knows that
Yeah.
I would ever want to do a duet with him. But I guess maybe now he does.
He knows
I
a lot
really
of
would.
he knows a lot of people, and write a song.
I really would.
You never know. So the song is called Rollercoaster.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the song. How did you come about the lyrics, and how does it come from a personal experience? Tell us about how the song came about.
So it was about one of my friends, an ex of hers.
These songs are always about exes.
They draw really good lyrics. I won't lie. But he mistreated her and whatever else, the normal stuff.
Right.
But I kind of added my own kind of experience onto it too, so it's kind of a jumble between her experience and mine.
Right.
But yeah, and then with the lyrics, coming up for lyrics, I tend to listen to other kind of songs that are like the one I'm wanting to listen to or to make.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of jot down some words that I like, and then I'll put it together.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Stay right there. We're going to go to commercial. We're going to come back, and we're going to hear Ella. And Ella's going to do her very first song that she's ever written.
Yep.
And the very first time heard by anybody other than a little snippet by your mom.
Yep.
Right here
Yeah.
on There's Always a Song. So stay tuned. We're coming right back. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Brent Buchanan from Pure Country, and this is There's Always a Song, and as the title says, there's always a song on this show. And right now we're going to go to our guest from the show today, Ella Campbell. It's the first time that she's performing this song in front of an audience, and it's her very first song that she's written. It's Ella Campbell and a song called Rollercoaster.
You got everyone in this town fooled with the mask covering the real you. You're pretty good at putting on that show, so no one really knows what you're like when you're letting down that curtain. You're the one who's always leaving me hurting. Why couldn't I say goodbye? You always know just what to say to make me wanna stay. I can say it's finally over, 'cause I'm through with this hell train roller coaster. Do I really want to see you around this town? You're probably with some blue-eyed blonde you call yours now. Does she know you're trying to rope me back in? I ain't doing this again, 'cause I know what you like when you're letting down that curtain. You're the one who's always leaving me hurting. Why couldn't I say goodbye? You always know just what to say to make me wanna stay. I can say it's finally over, 'cause I'm through
All right, thank you very much, Ella Campbell. And that's the very first time that song has ever been performed in front of an audience. The song, of course, called Rollercoaster. Great job, Ella. And thank you very much for tuning in. Another great show coming up next week. And if you know someone that is a songwriter and has some original material, we'd love to have them sitting at this table here and performing for us. So tune in again next week. I'm Brent Buchanan from Pure Country, and this is There's Always a Song.